I feel like we should have more moon technology or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I think shit is like flying up from the ocean to the sky.
It's like surfing in some oil spillage. Inhaled like a whole bag of goose feathers.
I worry primarily about whether there are nightclubs in heaven.
So middle school is the second floor, and high school is the third floor of the same building.
I gotcha. That's okay. You guys ever jam down here? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I record all the time down here.
Yeah, and we actually had an episode a couple weeks ago that ended in an impromptu jam sesh.
Oh, nice.
The one with Ariel and Esteban.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They actually did something, huh?
Mhm.
Wow, good.
Yeah, they saw that basket right there with the instruments. They pulled it out, and we ended with the jam with singing. We are recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
As always, we just go straight into it.
Is it just me or is this room starting to smell more like incense and less like mold?
Maybe
It
that would be a good thing.
It might be me. I think I brought. Is this? Are these? What are these?
He
These are
brought his
coasters.
own
I
incense.
just put the Wi-Fi password on there for guests in case they want to pull out their phone.
He made a stamp for it.
Oh yeah, that's. I was gonna ask. Do you have a Wi-Fi? You know. Do I need to be closer to the mic? Get closer to the mic. You know, people always say.
Yeah, they always say that on podcasts. Most people
Case in
say,
point, you always say that.
yeah, I say that too. Most people like end up sitting farther back. There was one episode where the guest was like this far back.
He's like out in the canyon. Hey, my favorite.
Turn the gain all the way up to capture him.
Yeah.
And mostly it just sounds like a bunch of birds.
Lots of burps on the episodes where we drink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now you guys said you used to be. You would crack open some of that. I saw some of that Jack Daniels upstairs.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Shoot, it had a.
That was all you.
That was my alcohol from August. I decided to give up drinking for the rest of the year.
Because you killed 2
Congratulations.
bottles of Jack Daniels
And more.
and and let's see, a bottle of Hennessy, like at least 2 bottles of wine and a bottle of Sky vodka.
Yeah.
But you know what
It was getting close to a problem, so I figured, I gotta cut this off before it gets worse.
That's about the time that you quit drinking.
It's really easy though to keep drinking. You know,
It is.
For me, it's like okay, well,
Yeah,
what-
once you get to 2 drinks, then it's 4, then it's 6. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes
like, what difference does it make after that? But,
Exactly.
until the morning after, and you're like, well, can I cuss?
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know, you feel like shit, right? And you're like,
Right.
why did I do this? But you know, the older you get, like for me, I think after one drink, I'm like, it's just not cool, you know. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally started getting hangovers like 2 years ago, and they've gotten pretty bad this year.
yeah. You ever have you tried those? And I'm not trying to like get you back on the drinking track, but they have those little no hangover.
Oh,
You take
no.
one before, and then you drink like Gigi Allen, and then you take one after, and you're supposed to like feel really good. But I don't, I don't know. I don't think they work.
I just
So I
have,
tried.
Our technique was just to like water down the drinks. Like if I go out to a bar, I'll have my Nalgene with me, so I know I'm drinking a lot of water.
yeah, you just got to drink a lot of water in between the drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and keep drinking the same thing.
Stay consistent. That's
That's the
crucial.
key, dude. 'cause
Yeah,
I-
that was my problem, was like mixing drinks when I would
yeah.
like play shows in the past or go to parties, and that would end in vomit usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weird. Like I go to a bar and like I order like the same cocktail like 3 or 4 times, and then like the third one they're just like, that again. I'm like, yeah, that again. I'm not trying to fuck myself up here.
Yeah. Don't mix colors in drinks. Human race, the race. That's okay.
In
You can mix
paintings.
it. Yeah.
Separate the cocktails and separate the races.
So what the hell is this podcast about? Someone tell me.
There's not one single topic. We just start talking and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Overarching thing is comedy. We've had some of Jack's
Yeah.
improv friends on and such.
Yeah.
Nice.
We are, what is it, 18 episodes in?
Yes, this is episode
We are-
18
I
with
was-
Sam
wow.
Lopez.
Yeah. We are
Hi.
18 episodes in, still trying to figure out what the hell this is about. We have no
amazing.
idea, and I've been here for every single one of them.
Somehow we go for 2 hours plus just going from tangent to tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So music comes up a lot. Jack's comics come up.
Yeah.
Jack knows movies and TV better than me too.
Yeah. Occasionally, lists of haunted places come up, like they did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, on the Jen episode, do you know her?
Mm-mm.
She
Get haunted in San Diego.
In
Or-
San
or
Diego,
just- or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, like the Whaley House and Hotel Coronado here, the
Oh,
Gravity
yeah,
Hills,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So every time we go somewhere, like we'll go to like abroad, we always go on the ghost tours.
Right. Yeah.
because like it's the coolest thing, and who knows, they could be making 90% of it up, and really, who cares, right?
Yeah, you're not going to be around long enough to fact check, so just enjoy it and then go home.
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like suspension of disbelief with certain movies.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever been to Boston?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever been on the ghost tour in Boston?
No.
Okay, yeah. So like Boston has like the trolleys that are just like the hop on, hop off. You buy a ticket for the day and then you can just hop on and off. So like it takes you to like all the cool landmarks and all the museums and stuff in Boston, so you can just kind of like see the town in a day.
Yeah.
And one event that they have is, I think it's like at a certain hour or just like a couple times a year, but like they do ghost tours of like all the spookiest places in Boston. And they'll be like in period costume with like ghost makeup and like fake blood and stuff. And so like they do it up. I've seen the trolley go around at night with like, and like the tour guide will be holding a lantern.
Yeah.
For no particular reason, because the streets are lit.
Yeah, right. It's like it's like bright. Yeah, but that's like you said. That's the part of it. That's the entertainment.
Yeah, but
factor.
they go all in on the ghost tour, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we did one in San Miguel Allende, and it was they took us around, and they were dressed like ghosts and vampires, and they took us to this like old dilapidated, rundown place, and it was like a haunted house, and there was a guy jumping out of, and he had a full on thing, but it was fun, it wasn't scary, it was cool.
Yeah,
it's like we want to see some, something fun,
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I bike or drive through Presidio Park at night, I get that eerie vibe where you think like, oh, am I going to see a ghost tonight?
And there's
maybe
there's an old church up on that hill. Everything's just kind of spooky at night.
There's a raised platform with a pentagram.
Oh yeah, there's that.
And the big cross, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
who was crucified here? Nobody was crucified here.
That we know of.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah. Okay, I remember when I worked at Goodwill, I was in the warehouse, and every once in a while we'd have like there was the whole big warehouse floor, and then there was like a loft up top, like half of the surface area like was just like a big balcony where you could just take extra cargo and stuff up there. And in the far left corner, there like it gets dark back there. It was in the far left corner. There was just this like 6x8 concrete slab, and this is all built out of plywood.
Yeah.
So why there's a concrete slab up there, who knows? It's like there's nothing below it. So they just built it to support this big concrete slab.
Yeah.
I talked to everybody in the warehouse. Nobody knows why it's there. And then like I just left it, and I didn't go back up there for like a couple weeks. And then when I went back up, there was just an unexplained big brown stain in the middle of this concrete slab, and I assume there was a sacrifice to the devil up there. I can't say for
But why
sure.
the devil? Why can't you sacrifice like Jehovah or why the devil? I mean, people keep giving him a bad rap.
Hey, you know what? He just likes chickens. You sacrifice a chicken to the devil or a goat.
Sacrifice a goat to an apostle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in that.
Oh, dude,
business.
St. Peter's just sitting up by the pearly gates like, nobody ever sends me anything. And then suddenly a headless goat just falls. Somebody sacrificed a goat to me. That's nice.
It's like, where are the tortillas, dude? Come on.
Somebody
finish
sacrificed them. How do you ritually kill tortillas?
by putting them in your mouth and chewing them up. We're done.
Cover them on alcohol, light them on fire.
That's true. Yeah, I think I've seen that.
But then
I was on that tour.
Then do they get to the afterlife burnt? Because then they're no good to anybody. Or do they go intact?
We'd have to try to find out.
You don't have any ghosts here?
Okay, one of us has to die and go to the afterlife so somebody can report from the other end and see how these things actually turn up.
All right, dude. Tell us how it went.
All right. So we're gonna need 2 empty tin cans and a really long string, so I can contact you guys.
Oh, man, come on. Verizon has their afterlife.
Phones don't
plan.
work in the Verizon has the afterlife.
Yeah, you don't have.
Yeah, it's like $40 a month, dude.
Can you hear me now?
Jimmy Hendrix, is that you?
Kurt Cobain, really?
What? Dang, tell me about that. Poor Kurt. Whatever. You guys like that guy? That Nirvana guy?
That Nirvana.
I was watching this
Yeah,
horrible.
I guess so. I listened to Nirvana a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, I listened to him constantly. I was watching that the year punk broke, or is that it? 1991. The year. Have you seen that? Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
I've heard of it.
But you know about it was Sonic Youth and Nirvana and Dinosaur Jr. and some other. But what a bunch of pompous people.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You just feel like bad for them, like it's cringy. But I love both of those bands. I love Dinosaur Jr., but it's still, you feel like they were so what's that word? Pretentious.
Yeah. I kind of got that vibe when I was watching like Jay Mascis going over his guitar gear.
You watched those too.
Yeah.
It was like 4 hours long, right? And he's like, over here, because he talks so slow. This is
Yeah, I think the one I saw was shorter. It was like
DS1.
20 minutes, but still, you could pick up that vibe. Because I like Dinosaur Jr. I'm a gear nerd, so I watch all those videos.
I love those. What is it called? What's it called? That show, Gear something. Brought to you by like Premier Guitar. That one.
Yeah, I know which
love
one you're talking
those.
about. I don't know the title of the show. There's one interviewer there who's a really annoying guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like he thinks he's above like all these musicians and
Yeah.
like them using Digitech pedals or whatever.
Yeah. But I also watch another series too. It's by the people who brought it's called, I think, Earthquake Delay or Earthquake Pedals.
Earthquaker devices, yeah.
Yeah, and it's that whole series. Show Us Your Junk.
Uh-huh.
And it's the coolest show. It's like people just going through and you're showing, every little kind of like device that you bought in the last whatever.
The Rainbow Machine is such a cool, weird pedal. I wish I owned one of those.
Do you have one of those? You know one of those?
Nah. My pedal board's pretty small, just like the effects I need. Delay,
Did it start though?
compressor.
Like when it was growing? Do you play as well?
No.
Okay, but when you were doing your stuff, did you have the big thing and then finally you kind of whittled it down? Like
Yeah, I built 2 pedal boards. I had a bigger one at first, and like effects I didn't use that much, or I was realizing, oh, I only used this chorus on one part of one song in the set. I don't really need it, so I've kind of whittled it down to the effects I need.
Yeah, the most important one, the tuner.
Yeah,
No.
tuner. Yeah, of course.
That's all you need, man. Forget all that other crap, Yeah. I think we've all gone through that phase where we just keep building and
You
building.
keep
and
building,
like,
and then
fuck,
you get rid of
really?
some of them, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what am I, the Edge? Come on, and then you just 2 pedals. That's all you need,
Yeah, the Edge doesn't really play guitar. He plays delay pedals.
right? But what do you do? You like comics?
Yeah.
You're into illustration. Are you a comic yourself? An illustrator?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. I draw and I write and I make my own stuff.
Nice. And so, what did you, growing up? Like, who were your Kirby,
I-
Ditko,
Yeah, Kirby and Ditko.
Wrightson?
Right from the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's see, John Buscema. Like that one was kind of automatic because he was the one who did all the art for the seminal like How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. That whole like
right.
instructional book. And so like I leafed through that thing more times than I can remember. And like I remember when I was young, I saw like all the rules. Like when I was just trying to like draw however I wanted to draw, I would read those, and there would be like the pages and pages of like all the rules for like how to break down the body into essential shapes and like draw it like a rough shapes and then like erase those and draw over. I'm like, that's too many steps. I'm just gonna draw the finished product first. And what do you know, my art looked like shit. And then years and years later, I just kind of found myself automatically falling into that because I had it in the back of my mind. And now what do you know, it fucking works. It was in the book because it worked.
That's why it's there.
Yeah, but so, yeah, and like, John Buscema was definitely, just by merit of that book, and then like going back and looking at all the stuff that he drew over his career, was one of the guys who basically taught me how to draw Mignola. Mike Mignola is a big one. I cannot draw like Mike Mignola does, but he's just a huge influence on me. Like, I have a fucking Hellboy tattoo and shit, so.
Are these Marvel guys or no?
Well, John Buscema and all those older guys mostly stuck with Marvel for their careers. Buscema did a little bit for DC too, but but Mignola's kind of jumped around. He's done. I think he started out like in the late '80s, early '90s with Marvel, and then he went over to DC for a while. And he's been doing mostly creator-owned stuff since the mid '90s.
Okay.
Yeah, like stuff with Dark Horse and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So many different kinds of, not labels, but types of, it's like, I'm just like, I like, like the one character, and then that's all,
Yeah.
Jonah Hex. Who doesn't like Jonah Hex?
Yeah.
Herbie. You know Herbie?
Yeah.
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 That's like, I love that. That's like my favorite ever. Herbie, the Fat Fury.
Yeah. There's one that I really like. It started out in print like maybe 10-ish years ago, and then it like kind of made the transition into webcomic. Like they still release print that you can buy in stores, but I mostly just read it online. It's called Atomic Robo. And like my friends in middle school and high school turned me onto it, and it's just about a robot who was built by Nikola Tesla, and became a super scientist who fights Nazis. And
that's a great thing.
yeah,
Fighting Nazis.
yeah, always great. And like that's another reason why I love comics, because more than any other medium, it's just chock full of Nazi punching. Doesn't matter if you're reading like a superhero book or a pulp adventure book or anything like that. It's probably going to involve punching Nazis at some point.
All right. Here.
Yeah.
Punching Nazis.
Yeah. But like it's just, like the crazy thing about Atomic Robo is that like they'll do crazy like out there pulp genre sci-fi stuff, but like all the characters actually understand and know things about science, so they're always poking holes in it. Like he's fighting a talking velociraptor and he's just like, okay, like he's saying like, I traveled to the future from the time of the dinosaurs, and he's like, okay, here's all the scientific reasons why time travel is actually impossible. And then he says, on top of that, you're a dinosaur and you speak English. And he's like, it wasn't hard for my advanced lizard brain to understand your monkey growls. And he's like, no, dinosaurs didn't have larynxes. You physically should not be able to speak. Yeah. None of this makes sense.
Yeah. What Robo what? Robo Dog?
Atomic Robo.
Atomic Robo.
Yeah.
Last time I was at the Comic-Con, they have the guys hawking their comic books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets real uncomfortable because, they look at you and there's no one around, and they want you to come, and you look at kind of like a glance, it's like a hamburger detective, and you're like,
yeah. But they're
Have a
trying
great day.
so hard, and there's so much desperation
but seriously,
in their eyes.
it's uncomfortable,
Yeah.
It's like those people that wait outside of Trader Joe's, with their thing, and they say, "Hey, can you sign this?" Or it's like, it's uncomfortable.
Or like the old one in the 2000s, the guy passing out his mixtape on a CD.
Oh my god. Do people not still do that? Maybe not with a tape, but I'm
No,
pretty
people
sure.
took that to the internet to spam.
Oh yeah, now they're SoundCloud rappers.
They don't pass out CDs.
I would
and tapes
love that
anymore,
though.
Really.
I wish people would do that more. I think the next Stay Strange is going to be me out at a gas station seeing if people would buy it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, you
I
should
didn't
do
think
that.
about that.
Yeah, my high school metalcore band, we used to pass out flyers and CDs outside Soma and Epicenter.
Yeah.
Soma wasn't cool with that, really.
Are those Epicenter's gone?
Epicenter's done.
But Soma
Yeah.
is still having shows?
Soma's still having shows. They've gone more towards like rap and EDM. I think like they still get some of the metal bands, but they have way fewer shows than they used to.
What a history.
Yeah.
That place had gone through some weird changes. What was the first Soma show you went to?
First Soma show was Cradle of Filth in 2007.
And where
I
was
think.
that at? Which location?
That was at the Soma main stage.
Uh-huh.
They were playing like Bam Margera videos throughout it because he sponsored it.
Mm-hmm.
There was some bad like hair metal band called Veins of Jad that opened. CKY played too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
I saw all of CKY set. That was fun. I had to leave like partway through Cradle of Filth because I wasn't driving yet, so I was dependent on my parents picking me up.
See, that was the coolest thing for me growing up is my parents would wait outside. And they'd be, okay, well, we'll see you at like 11 o'clock. And I was like, 13 or whatever.
Yeah, there were certain shows that I went to with my mom and dad. Like, my dad saw Every Time I Die With Me. My mom went to see Thursday at House of Blues. Mm-hmm. I used to think, like, House of Blues, you have to have a parent if you're under 18, and they don't really enforce that.
Really?
Yeah.
House of Blues. What about you? Do you go to shows?
Oh yeah, I went to a couple, mostly with Ian. Mm-hmm. I think I've got a Ziploc in my room of all the tickets of concerts that I've been to.
What was your first concert?
Ah, shit. My first concert was different from my first show. My first show was like about a year or so after Ian's first at Soma. We went to Soma. Mm-hmm. But like my first concert, I went to see Cheap Trick with my mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you know about them before you went?
Yeah, a little bit.
Or was it your mom? Are your parents
They
still
had played it in the
together?
car all the time. Like, we went on
Okay.
a lot of road trips, so they had their collection of CDs, like Steely Dan,
Yeah.
Cheap Trick, Talking Heads, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Police was played a lot, too.
That's cool. They're probably my age. How old are they? Are they still together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. And they're both in their 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dad's 55, mom's 53.
Nice. Hey, cradle robber, right? Steely Dan. So is that why you picked up the keyboard? Because you want to be like Donald Fagen?
That's been an influence more recently when I've been getting back into Steely Dan. My high school music taste was crappy and I grew tired of Steely Dan. So, like, I took a few years break from listening to it. Mm-hmm. What got me back into piano was this emo band Chiodo, so I was into it in high school. Mm-hmm. Like, I took piano lessons as a kid because we went to a Christian school. And then I didn't touch an instrument for years. Picked it up again in high school when I was learning guitar.
Was that weird going to a Christian school? Did you know any different? Probably not, right? I mean, if you've always been in a Christian school.
Like, as I got older, like, say, 5th grade to middle school, I started questioning, like, certain aspects of the faith, like how a lot of people were homophobic or, like, subtly racist, you know?
Yeah. I didn't wait to start questioning things until I had a good reason to. I just, like, in preschool, I just loudly shouted, "I don't believe in God," in the middle class. I got in trouble.
Yeah, and, like, all of us kids in the Christian school, like, we hated going to the church. We had, like, 2 services a week.
Yeah, we were. I mean, like, they didn't say we were required to go on Sunday, but we were required to go on Sunday.
Totally.
And then we were actually, like, required to go on Wednesday morning when we went to school. Like, we would skip, like, there would be no first class in the morning. We would just go right to church. So we had to go to 2 services a week.
We had to wear uniforms with polo shirts and slacks, and we would have to, like, run in PE in that
It's
uniform.
the worst, man.
No
Seriously.
gym clothes.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Like, people at the Christian school, they were, of course, like, more freaked out if you would say shit or fuck than oh my God or Jesus Christ.
Which I did a
Yeah.
lot. I did both of those a lot.
I used to be in a praise and worship band like 10 years ago or so. And I, being who I am, one day I was listening to Cro-Mags on the way to the rehearsal.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, yes, pumped up, and I get there and I think I almost got in a fight with the worship leader, because they were real like pompous, and
You were just so goddamn pumped.
I was pumped. And then just one little thing he said, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm sick of this guy, So I always thought that was a time to leave, like maybe I better
If you're getting ready to just deck somebody, then maybe it's time to vamoose.
But I spoke for the rest of the band at that point. But that was good, yeah.
We had to be in choir up until 5th grade, too, which we've talked about on this podcast
yeah.
before.
And hymns? You had to sing hymns or like popular Christian?
I think it was mostly hymns.
Yeah, like we would have choir practice during the school day, and then like sometimes we would have to sing in church services.
Yeah.
Some of those hymns were cool. Like you had the off timing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, like musically they're pretty interesting. The
Yeah.
lyrics I could give or take.
Yeah.
I remember
those arrangements.
Yeah, I remember. You guys are familiar with John Mulaney, the comic, right? Comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like in his latest special, like he's very Catholic. I mean, he grew up Catholic and everything, and like he's just talking about like what it was like in church, like when people would ask him like what it was like, and he's just talking about like, and then the guy, he's not the priest, but he just works at the church for some reason, and he always looks like Marco Rubio, and he just stands up at the pulpit and he sings. And he can't sing. And he sings the psalms. They're not songs, they're psalms.
Right.
And the lyrics are always like, "The bread of God is bread."
Pretty monos,
Yeah. And it's like, I remember a lot of songs that we had to read were like that, like the hymns and such. Mm-hmm. And like a couple of them were at least like interesting. And if you got a lot of people singing them at once, they sounded good. But, oh my God, I did not know how to sing yet. Even though my teacher continuously told me that was what they were teaching us to do, did not know how to sing. And then they would put me on the spot, and I would be very uncomfortable, and then I would just kind of forget the words and refuse to sing.
Just beatbox,
Oh yeah, let's see how that goes over.
Did you play in the band? In anything? Like any kind of...
I took piano lessons at that same school from the teacher who taught choir, Mrs. became Mrs.
Yeah, let's just give her name out.
Yeah, I could bleep it.
Bleep both of them.
Yeah, in middle school they tried to set up like a real band with like tuba and saxophone and stuff like that, but it failed. I think the guy who was going to come in and teach it backed out because he had another job to take. Did you play band instruments?
Like a trombone?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you start out with guitar?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I started off with guitar.
And I guess what were some of the bands that made you want to like pick it up, or was it like parents or a teacher putting it in your hands? Was it to learn metal? I'm guessing.
Probably. My dad was like a rocker guy.
Yeah.
He had a lot of like Kiss Ted Nugent, and my mom was more like on the soul side, so she had a lot of like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I think just like Kiss really was like, I identified greatly with, the Demon.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons, like, yeah, that guy's fucking cool. You know what I mean, right? And he's spitting blood, and there's fire. It's like
he's got such a long tongue.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's cool. So I would dress up like Gene Simmons, and I think my mom was like, "You need to play something," and I was like, "Well, I'll play drums." And she was like, "No, you can't play drums because it's
too loud." Yeah.
So she goes, "You should play guitar." So yeah, someone bought me a guitar. I think when I was like probably like 11. And then took lessons, and then it's just been, that's it. Yeah.
And you play ukulele too?
Now I do, yeah. Well, I bought it in Hawaii about 4 years ago, and I had it sitting there. And I was like, well, fuck, I want to do something different with it. I don't want to be, play like that, standard, So I tweaked it out into weird tunings, and then really kind of identified with that. I went to India and I brought it with me because I wanted to learn from some of the Indian musician masters out there.
Yeah.
And they were kind of standoffish a little bit, but once I got back here, I just kind of, after I finished my noise project, I was like, I want to try something different. Mm-hmm. So I go, well, fuck, I'm just going to immerse myself into this character, the Sorcerer Family, and just try to do something with that. So that's something different.
Yeah.
Because I've already gone through...
It's good to go against type sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, who I don't know anybody that's, doing that.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel kind of, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because I played in so many different kinds of bands. Even my last band where I played, it was everything. You know what I mean? Like we did all sorts of different type of music and just played all sorts. And so it was like, well, I got that out of the way. So what's next? So this is like the next thing.
To keep it fresh and interesting for
you,
you,
Mm-hmm. And to have fun. Because all my stuff's always been like fun, like tongue-in-cheek, or not totally serious and just something.
The last Cheap Windows show I played, it was at Tile TK, and I asked Reese to put wrestling on behind me.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I had a vacuum cleaner running for like a little bit of noise to go with the piano. I was hoping somebody was going to take it and like vacuum the venue for her.
Because that would have been nice.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice thing, yeah. Reese would have appreciated that. That's good, man. That's cool. Cheap windows. Why? What do you mean, cheap windows? Why do you say cheap windows?
I think it came up in a Spanish class, and I forgot what cheap windows is in Spanish. I keep forgetting Spanish. Mm-hmm. So it's cheap windows. Started doing it in 2015 after my last band broke up. Mm-hmm. I had like some drama arise from that band, so I wanted to do a solo project and try recording more. Because the experience in bands was like, we would play a lot of shows, but we wouldn't record as much as I wanted to. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to focus and hone that in and like teach myself how to use microphones and interface the recording programs better. Mm-hmm. I was taking classes at Miramar for recording art, so my sound quality has steadily improved.
Yeah, isn't that the coolest thing is when you don't have to rely on a bassist or a drummer?
You just do your own thing. Like, you want to record an album at 11 at night to 2 a.m. and then it's done. Yeah, you put it out the next day.
That's what I love about doing solo stuff is like you don't have to fucking worry about anything. Anybody giving you, a weird vibe.
Yeah, you don't have to like deal with all the work schedules that entail being in a band.
Can't do that. I can't do that. I put together ensembles and we play once and we're done. Fuck it. Okay, next. Poof. Yeah, and I think that's the coolest thing to have that freedom.
Yeah, that's cool. With Cheap Windows, I brought in other people into it. Jack contributed his voice a few times. Mm-hmm. I sampled like a drummer in my old band. He was cool with me reusing some drum recordings I already had on my computer.
So you sing. You can hold a note.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he's a better singer than me.
Ah, that's nice, man. So who's the Walter Becker and who's the... No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad that you laughed because obviously you know what I'm talking about. So that's the coolest thing. Yeah. That's good.
And I think the favorite thing that I've contributed to with your work is Chill Collins.
Steve Flato organized a compilation of ambient Phil Collins covers.
Yeah, and we did a cover from the Tarzan soundtrack. Uh-huh. We did Strangers Like Me, which if you've never
because Phil Collins sings that one.
Yeah, he does the whole soundtrack to Tarzan. for some reason. I don't know whose idea at Disney that was. Like, should we? So should we make it a musical like all the others? No. Let's get Phil Collins to just record all of these songs from the perspectives of the characters.
And he goes in way harder than he needs to for a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Did you read his autobiography?
I did not.
No.
Fucking good.
I didn't.
This guy has been around forever.
Yeah.
And he really knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, he's been ups and downs and a ladies' man, which to me is surprising. Like, okay,
He's had a long career.
He's got a long career, and he's a badass drummer too.
Yeah. I remember reading the Jimi Hendrix biography when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Which one do you remember?
No, it was so long ago.
Yeah.
Got it from the library up the street.
Yeah.
Did a report on it.
Yeah. Did you go into his heroin use in that report?
Yeah, I think it mentioned it briefly. I don't know if that was appropriate for 7-year-old me, but
Yeah.
You gotta learn sometime.
yeah.
I mean, it's a huge part of, why he died, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't die of
Can't
old
skip
age.
that over.
No, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. What a human being Jimi Hendrix was, right?
He started out as like a paratrooper, I think.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
God
The
damn.
army, I think, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cue the music.
Cue a song from Sam from the last Zsa Zsa Gabor album. How long were you doing that project? Is it still around?
No, it ended last year.
Uh-huh.
It ended. That tape was the final tape.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think I started that in 2006.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then just ended it. I started it kind of like as a joke. Like we were doing a Halloween show, and they're like, I don't know. I was like, let me do something different. That whole different thing. Why can't I just fucking play this music and songs? But no, I gotta do something different. And so I started it, and it really was like fun, and we met, so that opened up the whole door to what we're doing now, all of us.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, did Stay Strange come out around the same time, or did you start doing those shows after?
Yeah, that was, well, I started putting on shows around the same time, 2006, but I was working with a buddy, because remember MySpace, how badass MySpace was? I mean,
Yeah, you had like 5 songs on the profile,
Yeah.
and you could have a top 8 with bands in it and all that.
And for musicians, though, it was so cool because you got to meet people from all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like how I met, people who were doing like noise type stuff in San Diego. I was like, oh, here we are. Oh, you're in San Diego? Well, I'm in San Diego. You play noise? Oh, I play noise. So we all started this thing together. And then, it was just real easy to be like, let's start some shows, put some shows together.
Yeah, the internet made it way easier to network and find people like in your city that are into the same music as you.
Yeah.
Especially with weird genres.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. Because all of a sudden now you have your audience. Mm-hmm. Boom, you're set. So that. But then I was working with them, and then I stopped, and I worked with another experimental collective, and then I stopped, and then I started my own thing. It's like, oh fuck it, I'll just do my own thing.
Yeah.
It's much easier because, and so I started in I think like 2012 or 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stay Strange, that is, and then it's just been going on since then.
Nice.
Yeah.
The first show I went to was the Balboa Park Make Music Day. I think I was briefly introduced to you. But we talked more at that Kava Lounge show a year or two ago.
Yeah. That, it's funny because like somehow, I guess because we have such a presence, is that, I'll get like an email, and it'll say, hey, do you want to do something? And I hear, I'm like, yeah. Well, what do you want to do? Oh, fuck, what do I want to do? Okay.
I thought you had something already.
Let's do it, man. You ready to fucking get down, And so...
You ready for some skeletons?
Right? And a lot of times people are like, skeletons? Sure. And it's like, wow, fuck, okay. People are a lot more... They're less conservative than you think they would be.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of cool to have people say, here's fill it up. And I'm like, fuck, okay. It's the coolest thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like going to the, like a restaurant and going, okay, I'm going to have one of this and one of this and one of this and one of this. And that's basically how the show will start. That's who I want. And they look at it and they go, okay, yeah, sure. But for them to say, well, where do you want to have it? How about the chapel in, right there in Balboa Park? Okay, hold on, let me find out. Yeah, you can do it. Fuck, I can go to the chapel. How about at the Japanese Friendship Garden? Hold on, let me make a phone call or something. Yep, you can do that. I'm like, okay, So it's like, fuck, really? But you got to be respectful on one side, because they're cool to give you these sort of things. Like the library shows. They, people will go, hey, do you want to do a show at the library? And like, wow, what do you mean? Fuck yeah, the library. Of all places. Where people are. They. To have a noise show at the library is totally like...
Yeah, that library show, I really like the idea of it. And you had the zombie up on stage.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper. He's in my son's room. He's like the watcher, The Grim Reaper has been a symbol, I guess, for Stay Strange, I think, ever since, the artist, John Tension. DJ Tension?
Yeah, I've heard his music.
So this is... He drew this for me. And which is another thing, is to me, like, it's the music... Right, is one facet, but the art is 50-50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't have...
You gotta have the visuals to go along with the music.
Totally. And I think that's really important.
And I mean, who drew the giant lips sticking their tongue out for the Rolling Stones? Does anybody know?
Who did it?
I don't fucking know.
Oh.
Boys, that's like forever linked with the Rolling Stones. Like you see that image and you think Rolling Stones, but who the fuck made it?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out. Andy Warhol.
A lot of metal bands will pay like $500 to $1,000 for an album cover because it's an image that'll stick in your head for like 30 years.
Yeah,
totally.
And like, if I say, all right, there's a band name, I say this name, you're probably gonna have a bunch of like images of art that you've seen pop in your
Corpse.
head. Iron Maiden. You can probably like picture like 1,000 different Iron Maiden images that you've seen before. It's all like the images with like the guy with like the decrepit monster face and shit like
Eddie.
that. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, like. In the old tattered military uniform with like the sword and shit, or like next to like an actual Iron Maiden and shit like that. There's tons of images like that. Who does all the art for Iron Maiden? That's what I want to know.
Well, Derek Riggs used to do. He did from the very first album up until like maybe I don't know somewhere in time maybe, and then they got a new guy and it totally sucked. But Derek Riggs was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is always like interesting to me like when a band's imagery is just as close to like what you think of them as a band as their music, like just the imagery of that band.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Author and Punisher was at Southwest Terror Fest in Tucson, and he had like all these projections. Like I think they were triggered by his performance. That was incredible to see.
Yeah, that's cool, huh? Tristan, have you heard his new album yet?
No, I haven't. I only heard like the first single he released. Is the full album out now?
I think it is. Yeah, that's so cool, huh?
I want to see him again. I like all his machines because like I have an interest in engineering. I applied to colleges for civil engineering in high school.
Yeah.
So like seeing all these machines that he built and the hydraulics of it all, and that's making the music. That's like something I want to do. I want to like make my own instrument of some sort.
You want to build a giant music machine that could fill this entire room?
That's kind of what he did, huh? I mean, he's got so many fucking big machines.
Yeah, he applied his mechanical engineering background to like make his own instruments. Like,
yeah,
you don't need that much education to build a guitar. Like, you can pick it up and you can learn how to use a CNC machine and all that.
Yeah.
He's got some more specialist knowledge, I believe.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he's playing in December at Casbah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Did you see him at the library?
No,
Did you go to that show? Yeah, that was last year. Last year? Yeah.
Which library was that at?
Downtown.
Oh, the Central Library.
Yeah.
I think I got an invite for that. I might have been too sick to go.
Oh yeah. Don't be getting sick. Come on.
Yeah, that's
hey, give me some vitamins.
Ian, don't be sick.
I'll try not to be sick.
No.
Don't
be sick.
Be sick.
Don't
not
be
sick.
sick.
Be sick, not sick.
Exactly.
Difference of inflection.
Yeah.
You get sick, I'm gonna kill you.
When I was like in high school and then like going up through community college, I was at shows all the time, like 2 a week or so. I used to volunteer at Che Cafe. Used to be playing shows all the time too, booking a few. Like we've had house shows here, and I used to book shows at Che Cafe occasionally. In 2015, I got really sick and I was like bedridden for a few months, so that's where I started going to shows less. So like I really appreciate when I can make it out to shows now because it's so much better. Like when I was going to them all the time, like it would get a little bit monotonous, or like you hear the same sorts of bands. But now, like when I go out, it's for people I really like being around, for bands I really enjoy, and I have a better time out of them.
What are your some of your favorite San Diego bands?
Favorite San Diego? I really like what Bradley's doing, Thomas Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ariel's performances a lot. I don't listen to his music online as much, but I really like hearing it in all the spaces that he plays at. He invites me out to shows.
Yeah.
He's been driving me lately too, so we can hang out more.
Oh, cool.
And then I guess the band that I was into the most when I was going to shows more was Sleepwalk, the surf punk band from San Diego.
Okay.
I saw them like 12 or 15 times.
Gotcha.
Wait a minute. A surf punk band from San Diego?
Yeah. Surf rock and hardcore. They didn't actually surf. And Age of Collapse. Saw them a lot too. I have one of their records. They're in a band called Therapy now that's playing a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So I started out in metal, punk, emo scenes. I got into noise more as an adult. Like there was a foundation for it in high school. Like I started listening to Jesus Lizard and Swan, so that opened me up to like more experimental stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to point out, you said that those guys are now in a band called Therapy.
Yeah.
If somebody were to ask you about them and then you said, oh yeah, they're in therapy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a joke somebody's made.
It's probably that's why you just got to qualify. It's like, oh yeah, they're in a band called Therapy now. They aren't in therapy. Maybe they should be. Who knows?
And they're good. You need some therapy to listen to therapy, for sure.
Need some therapy. Reason for coming to therapy? Therapy.
That's good, man. Why is that? What is that band? What does that mean?
Store cables in here.
Oh, okay.
My old band used to have practice in that room, so we would store extra stuff in here.
Oh, I gotcha.
And Jack's got alcohol down here.
Oh.
Yeah. Made it myself.
Nah, you made that yourself?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's mead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's like what the monks used to make, right?
Yeah. And the Vikings and such.
Wow. And why is that apple plugged into that cable?
That's my new instrument. I'm playing Apple on the next Cheap Windows album.
Nice.
No, I was just eating it.
Oh.
You decided somewhere. I didn't
I
want
was
to go
just
to the
curious
trash can
about-
around the corner.
You know how you can get electricity out of potatoes? He's plugging it in to keep his computer charged.
Oh, that
I
makes
saw a
sense.
video
get
of a dude who carved holes in a potato, and he played the melody from Darude's Sandstorm on it. It was so funny.
I feel like people will just be finding new and interesting ways to play Darude Sandstorm until the end of time. It's like how you can port Doom onto any computer.
You could probably play Doom on a refrigerator by now.
I know you can play it on a Tamagotchi. You could probably also play Darude Sandstorm on a Tamagotchi.
Can you show us
I don't
by
ha-
example?
Sadly, I do not have a Tamagotchi on my person.
Oh man, that's interesting.
There's certain bands that will work in the 8-bit sounds from like a modded Game Boy, so they'll include that into their music. Like there were some metal bands that include that, like Horse the Band. There's like a power pop band called Crying from Brooklyn, and they have like these huge songs that they add like the 8-bit synths to.
I like that cup.
Yeah. I used to have 2 of these, but I broke one. It was really sad.
They're bizarre.
Yeah, they're cool. And they're like, they're all this weird colored glass that's all pushed together, so they both look different, but they were like the same basic things. It's got all these little chunks of like gold glitter glass in it and shit.
That's very cool.
I like
that it's green.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Ian, didn't you have like 2 of these that were purple?
I think I had ones that were more like tan or gold.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. What happened to those?
They're still somewhere in our cupboards upstairs. I just don't use them anymore. I have the Nalgene everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you guys travel much?
We have not as much recently.
No.
We did a lot of road trips as a kid around like Western U.S. Been to the East Coast. We have family in the Midwest, so we visited there. I've been to Spain and Morocco when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was great. Seeing all the old architecture there, the cathedrals, the mosques. Great food, too. Like, even, like, the simple lunches there, like ham sandwiches, tasted better than the U.S.
Yeah. I hated Morocco, man. It scared me.
Yeah, we were only there for a day. Everybody in my group was scared. I kind of enjoyed it. We went to a market in Tetuan, and I was the only person who took, like, goat cheese from a vendor and ate it. Everybody else was, like, thinking they would catch a disease from their food.
Yeah.
What was scary about Morocco?
Well, we went. It just felt like the farther that we went into Morocco, the farther we were going away from, like, human civilization.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, like, we could accidentally go off a road and be in perish in a ditch, and that was it. But it just kind of felt like, being there for one day, even though it's still kind of harrowing, because you're like, well, I'm over here, and these guys totally think differently than the way I think.
Yeah, it's way different than America. You gotta think like, okay, is there certain stuff I shouldn't be saying here?
Yeah, should I not say like fuck, will that get me killed, or and it was just kind of like, again, like we were driving, we went to Chef Chouan, the Blue City. Mm-hmm. Have you guys heard about that one?
No.
Okay, it's just like it's a city, and it's just blue. All of it's blue.
Oh,
and
cool.
It was like 2.5 hours into Morocco.
I think I might have seen pictures of that, but not in a while.
Yeah, it was really nice. But it just like, you kept going further and further, and I was on my phone going, okay, let me see, are we really going over here? Oh, okay, we're there. Are you sure? And then the thing about it, which is, I mean, obviously you have to make a buck, right? Mm-hmm. But once you're over there, I don't know, they probably did this with you, where they're like, hey, we want to take you to a shop. Mm-hmm. To buy stuff.
Yeah, they upsell stuff at shops.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking buy a rug. Do I really need a carpet? No, I don't need one. And I was with my mom, and she loves to buy stuff. And she was like ready to buy stuff, and I was like, I go, no, we don't want it. And all of a sudden I see the guy, he was getting upset, and like to the point where I thought he was gonna pull out one of those, like, those curved knives, buy the fucking carpet, and I'm like,
and then Indiana Jones comes through and punches him. Yeah.
They took us to the rug shop too. The main thing I bought there was like this 3-string banjo looking thing. So I was playing that because I was like missing my guitar and piano back home.
Yeah. And I was looking for some cool shit like that.
And of course I knew to haggle immediately too, so like I got the price down from like $25 to $8 because like that's how much you want to make anyways.
Yeah, it's like seriously. But so then you must have went through Tarifa, through Spain. Did you take the ferry over?
Yeah, we took the ferry across that channel, saw the Gibraltar Island. Yeah.
What a see, now that side was cool. I mean, I really like the Spanish side of it.
Southern Spain looks a lot like San Diego.
You know what? I've been in places where I'm like, looks like fucking Santee. Like,
yeah,
it's weird. You think how big the world is, but like, I was in India on a train. I'm going, looks like fucking Lakeside. I mean, how the hell does that even work? And
there's a McDonald's and a Starbucks here. Like, they have their own, like, localized parts, and, like, the buildings are generally older than the cities here.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's the thing about it. What's old here? Old Town? Okay, well, that's great. But over there, it's the whole fucking city.
Yeah, the problem that Europe has when they get, like, heat waves is old buildings can't be outfitted with AC, so people just suffer when it gets up to, like, 90 degrees or above.
It gets hot.
Yeah.
It gets hot. We went, it was, like, 90 degrees, but...
yeah, Spain gets pretty warm, usually.
Yeah, Spain gets super warm. And I was surprised how fucking... dry it was.
Yeah.
We went to Madrid. I'm like, oh my god, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, we were there during the spring. No rain.
No rain, right? Like they say in that thing. No, what is it? No rain in the plane in Spain.
Maybe.
Anyhow, here's to traveling. Let's travel some more, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Come on, let's get out.
I want to visit more places. I want to go to Alaska.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I had the privilege of being able to go to the Bahamas for work for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able? You've gone or you're going to go?
No, I went. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I explored like Nassau and the Out Islands. I went to Eleuthera and like just saw a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite places was on the island of Eleuthera, which is also like if you ever watch Gilligan's Island, like the opening credits. There's like it's all filmed on a soundstage, but like the opening credits, there's like actual B-roll of an island.
Yeah.
Eleuthera is the island.
Oh.
So I found Gilligan's Island. Did not find Gilligan. Hope he made it off, or at least got a proper burial.
Right.
But yeah, I was in Eleuthera, and there's this. We docked at a couple places, like we're sailing this tall ship, taking people on these tours of all these places. Like we take them to like completely deserted beaches and stuff like that. We're the only people around. Uh-huh. But one of the places that we went on the island of Eleuthera was called Hatchet Bay.
Okay.
And like the story of Hatchet Bay is that a long, long time ago it used to be a saltwater pond, like a brackish pond, but like the island is so thin that this pond, there's only like a narrow cliff face between it and the ocean. And so the people who were living there were like, we'd prefer if this was a bay. So what do? What you always do to solve problems in the old times. You just stuff a bunch of dynamite in the cliff and blow it the fuck up.
Yeah.
So it's called Hatchet Bay because it looks like it's been carved out with a fucking hatchet.
Right.
And so it's just like this 36-foot wide clearance to get boats in and out.
Wow.
And our boat was 27 feet wide. And so our captain takes us around, we drop sails, and he motors us in. We just kind of thread the needle right in between. And then we dock, and there's no Uber or anything around there. So you entirely get around the Bahamas via taxi. And taxis are just people's cars with a big taxi sticker on it and a license, hopefully a license in the windshield. And it's like they drove us to the Hatchet Bay Caves, which is this, like, it's almost like a mile deep. Like, it goes for a mile, and most of it is big enough that you can, like, stand up in it and, like, look up at the ceilings and shit, and, like, there's bats everywhere. It's super cool, but there's, like, a long-standing tradition of, like, explorers and, like, people who live there and people who are visiting and, like, sailors from way, way back going down in there and writing their names on the wall. And usually they'll, like, date it or pair it with a quote or something. One of my favorites that I saw on the way in was somebody wrote in big red letters on the wall, Davy Jones is a cunt. Don't know how old it was, but pretty great.
Yeah.
But we keep going down, and the further you go in, the older the names get, and the farther back the dates go, until, like, we started finding signatures on the wall that date back to, like, 1893.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. And we didn't.
Did you write your name on there?
No, we didn't get to, because you're big air quotes here, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And we're supervising people, so we can't be the ones doing it.
That's right. Yeah.
Because then they're all going to want to do it, and then we're going to be there for 3 hours, and it's just it's a whole thing. But
so you work for a tour company?
It was a tall ship. Like, instead of going out on a big Carnival cruise, because there's no way a Carnival cruise is going to get through into Hatchet Bay. But yeah, we would load up with like 24 passengers, crew of 10, and then we would just go out sailing around the out islands of the Bahamas for 6 days, and then take them back, clean up the boat, get it ready again, and take them out for another 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
Those tours were a lot of fun. We got to go to all these cool places. But yeah, that was something. And we were walking around Governor's Harbor the following week, which was the capital of the island of Eleuthera, and used to be the capital of all the Bahamas until it moved to Nassau. And, like, there's a couple cobblestone roads, but mostly it's just dirt, and there's just goats and cats and chickens running around everywhere.
Wow.
And I remember like, every once in a while you'll see a dog, and they'll let you pet them. But I was walking by on one of the main thoroughfares of the town, so this was especially surprising. And I looked over into somebody's front yard right next to me, and there's a dog lying there. I'm like, "Oh, hey, dog!" Nope, that's dead. That is a dead dog. And I just kept walking, and I could tell right away because it had been there for a while on one of the main thoroughfares in town. Nobody had done anything about it.
Sky burial, Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send up with the birds.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
We used to go to Mexico more when we were kids, mostly Baja. There was one trip where we stayed in a hotel in Rosarito where we met the stray dog that kind of like became our pet for the trip.
Yeah.
And had a sad ending. The police took him away, and who knows what happened after that.
What did he do? He did something wrong, huh?
I mean, he was just an unclaimed animal.
Wandering dog.
Yeah, so they had to take him. I don't think we legally could have even stood a chance of taking him back across the border.
No.
I assume that's a no-no.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Forget. He was a big dog.
Yeah, he was like a big, like, black and gray dog with, like, the big floppy ears and all shaggy and shit. And I don't remember what his name was or the name that we gave him.
Do you have any pets?
No.
Have you in the
Not
past?
yet. Yeah.
I
don't want to do... Why don't you name him now?
let's
What would you name him?
Buster.
Buster.
It might have been his name might have been Buster.
Fido.
Old Swummy.
Captain Morgan.
Mead.
No, Admiral Nelson.
Bootleg Captain Morgan.
Did you see Faust when they came?
Yeah, I did at Casbah.
Yeah. Did you like that? It was a good show, huh?
Oh, yeah. Incredible performance. Like, I'd only heard a few songs from them before, and I knew how important they were, so I was like, I gotta be at the show. Like, this is a tiny venue. I knew, like, once they had set up and hadn't even played anything, just the amount of instruments on stage, you're gonna be in for a good show.
Yeah.
So many people in that ensemble, old members and like newer live members too.
Yeah.
They come into the audience multiple times. They do painting in the set. They like carry a paper mache figure around.
Oh man.
They ended the performance with like this 12-minute song that has an outro of like ocean sounds for 3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't sold out.
We need more people to get into Faust. Huh?
Yeah. They were one of like the noisiest bands to chart. The Faust tapes, like the label decided to make it the price of a single for a full album, so it got into the charts in the UK. And people were just like picking it up because they say, "Oh, I saw something about this," and just like hating it once I heard it.
Yeah, yeah. How come there a show which talks about show us your junk, but artists? You know, like you see their pens or whatever.
I mean, like,
this is where I draw.
Yeah, I think there was something kind of like that briefly in like the 90s, and it was hosted by Stan Lee. And like it wasn't quite as like, you know, in depth as Show Me Your Junk, but it was just like they would come on and it'd be a studio with like, you know, lighting and everything, and then they would just draw at a drawing table and Stan Lee would be over their shoulder like, "Oh yeah, look at that shit, I'm Stan Lee." But like they didn't get, for the most part, they did not get good artists. Like it was artists who were popular in the 90s, and the 90s was a black hole for comics. So like there was a famous episode with Rob Liefeld where he's just shitting on a piece of paper basically.
Wow.
He's not a good artist, and he has not improved in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And of course he did like 3 sketches, like full body sketches of characters that he was making up off the top of his head and nobody remembers because they sucked. But like
Moon Knight or something like that?
No. Like just shit that he made up off the top of his head, and like characters with like huge shoulder pads and like a scrunched up Clint Eastwood face and like pouches and 2 huge guns and muscles that made no sense. And of course these are all full body drawings, and he never draws the feet.
Oh.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld cannot draw feet. He always finds an excuse to not draw them.
Oh my god, I ran out of time. My pen ran out of ink or something.
Let's just give him 2 toes. That's good enough.
There are a lot of Rob Liefeld drawings where like it's a full body shot of a character, and then there'll just be like a tiny rock right in front of the character's feet.
Oh, to block that.
And then there'll be no rocks in the rest of the image.
Yeah.
Just so he doesn't have to draw the fucking feet.
Your stuff is sad. Why is your music so sad?
I guess it's like an outlet to get out some of the stuff that like accompanies being sick and like the loneliness that comes from that. Like,
yeah.
I've spent way too much time at home. I'd rather be outside and like hiking and biking all the time if I could, because we had like an outdoorsy childhood. We were camping all the time. We were riding bikes, kayaking, all that, skiing, snowboarding.
Boy Scouts? Cub Scouts?
Yeah, we did Boy Scouts.
Nice.
I made it to like 2nd class, I think. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, we used to go to the park not far from here with like shovels and shit and just like make ramps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we turned our neighborhood park into like a biking course.
Yeah. And other kids have started like picking up where we left off. Like it was abandoned for years, and like the rain and just time were just breaking these things down until they were just like shapeless mounds of dirt. And then I was walking around the park a couple months ago, and what do you know, they're like being shaped up again. I have no idea who's doing it, but somebody is.
Somebody's doing
it.
it.
I would hope that it's kids. That's a kid thing. That's something that kids should be doing, because that'd be great. If it's adults, it'll still be cool. But I'm just like, let the kids do it.
Yeah, and my dad and I and Jack, we built like a wooden ramp that you could launch off of too. Somebody stole that eventually.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I remember that.
Those are the coolest times, right?
Yeah.
As kids.
It was so fun just like biking around the neighborhood. Like we had airsoft guns too, so we would fight with our friends with those.
You guys ever go bowling?
No eye protection. No eye protection.
The Sunset Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go there all the time too. Now it's like condos.
Yeah. Does this restaurant still have the largest salad bar?
Which one?
You know, the one up here. It used to tout itself as having the world's largest salad bar. It's right here off of Claremont and across from where Sprouts is.
in like that little area with like the dentist office and a couple restaurants.
Yeah.
I think it's a different place now.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, that little island building, the main bar cafe thing, it's changed hands so many times. Now it's called Fast Times, and they have music outside of there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been to that library. Is it a good one?
The Claremont Library.
I go there all the time. Yeah.
We've been there so much,
Yeah.
I used to get CDs there in high school.
That's the one library I've I've never been to.
Yeah, I have like right upstairs, right above my head. I have like 25 pounds of comics that I got from the library.
Really?
I get all kinds of shit on hold and just rent all the comics and all the books and shit.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah,
I love going to the libraries in San Diego, just all the different ones, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get ebooks from the library too. They have like Overdrive or something, where you don't even need to go into a physical library if you have a Kindle or an iPad.
You broke my heart when you said that.
Yeah.
I used to get physical books, but now I've switched more to the digital stuff.
That's the thing, right? I told my son, let's go get some books. He goes, why? I got them right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Just throw it out the window.
Don't do that.
Sometimes you need a physical book. You need to like set the devices away in another room and just like focus on the story.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing.
Just read my comics from the library with all the swastikas and angry annotations and dicks that God wanted them to be there.
Oh man, you didn't put them there, did you?
No, somebody did.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You get to read everybody's notes on the book. Like sometimes you'll get a book from the library and they'll write like their whole feelings about the story.
Why would they do that?
Because they are just the worst.
And some of these
people
books
are
like
weird.
come from private collections, so it could be like the actual owners who wrote that in. And now that's been to the library, those notes are still there.
It's weird. It's funny how
Because people donate books to the library. That's how they keep them free.
Yeah, I remember I got the the trade paperback of Superman Birthright, which is like one of my favorite Superman stories, and like I was reading it. I've read it a couple times, and I'm pretty sure it's the same copy from the library. And every time I forget that it's there, but I read through and like 2/3 of the panels with Lex Luthor in them, they have a swastika on his forehead, just drawn on there, and like there's two or three pages where Superman's like lifting a heavy thing, and somebody just drew a giant dick, so he's lifting a giant dick, and it's just
like, why not?
I always wait just long enough that I've forgotten it's there, and I'm like, I should reread Birthright. It's about time I give that another read, and then I flip through. Oh god damn it.
These people, man. Have you ever done anything like that? You know,
Like
drawn a swastika on somebody's head?
I've never drawn a swastika on anything, no, but I mean, like I've in like textbooks that were mine, like that I owned the textbooks, and I was gonna like do whatever the fuck I wanted with them at the end of the year. I would draw on them, and yet somehow I'd get in trouble for that, even though they were mine, and I was going to, and it was part of the arrangement that I was going to be keeping them. People would get like the teachers would get pissed at me, like I was defacing school property.
Yeah,
it was weird. Although mainly they just hated that I was drawing. Yeah.
Or you buy a used math textbook and somebody already solved most of the problems for you.
That I don't mind.
That's pretty good. That's a good trade-off. I want to see some of your stuff.
Especially if they showed their work. That really helps me out.
Yeah, I want to see some of your art.
Yeah.
You have some here?
Pull it up.
Yeah, you can pull it up.
He has a Patreon too if anybody wants to support him.
I do have a Patreon.
Yeah, that one was like I think I put the story behind it in the description, but like my nephew, like my niece and nephew, I show off for them because yeah, your cool Uncle Jack can draw. That's pretty cool, right? And then I encourage them to draw because that's something I think they're gonna enjoy. But like my nephew was talking with his friends at school, and apparently he was bragging about me, which is cool. But he was talking about how I draw superheroes and stuff, and then one of his friends was like, I don't believe you. Prove it. Have him draw 5 real superheroes and 5 that he made up. And so I did that because apparently I just cannot handle a 10-year-old saying that I can't do things. So out of spite, I did exactly what he wanted me to.
Oh, nice. You have a punching Nazi.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Yeah. That's like kind of a concept for like a kind of out there pulp comic that I've thought of. And of course, it's got to involve Nazi punching.
Did you make that up, or is that a character?
Yeah, this is all like concept art for another podcast project that Ian and I are working on, where we're doing like kind of a sci-fi audio drama, and yeah, so these are just like different alien races and shit. So that's just like concept art for that. The best part of having a podcast with no determinate theme or topic is that you can basically just talk about anything on here.
Yeah,
including negotiating a commission.
Usually the main thing I edit out is awkward silences. Sometimes there'll be like something that's like too offensive or
yeah.
Well, see how this guy's kind of, he has that like, I don't know, that stark, washed out.
Yeah, I kind of like really like gritty kind of Xerox look to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's a comic book artist that I'm thinking of that like stylistically is kind of in line with that. I don't know what his real name is, but he goes under the pen name Jock. Like if you ever like look up stuff that he does, it's a lot like that. It's really like
Is
sketchy and a little bit nasty looking.
Jock like the French?
Like Jock, like a nerd.
Oh, jock.
A
Okay.
nerd or a jock. Yeah.
Oh, Mark Simpson,
So that
known by the pen name Jock.
Yeah, so
is a
that's
British
his name.
cartoonist.
I've never bothered to look up his real name.
Best known for his work in 2000 AD, which is rad.
Yeah.
Oh, he did the Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah. I think Ian is in the process of like wrangling contacts and stuff like that, so we can set this up.
For you, Jack. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Ian's my agent now. As of the
It's important.
last 10 minutes.
It's important to have that agent.
Yeah, I try to hype
capabilities.
Jack up. Like sometimes I'll post his art on my Instagram.
You have to. I think it's
Yeah, Jack and I are close, so
Lord knows I don't know how to
supportive
self-promote.
of each other.
Yeah, I cannot self-promote for shit, so I take what I can get. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack's the introvert, the extrovert who can't network. I'm the introvert who can.
Just a great blend of skills right there.
Yeah, you need. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm outgoing, but I can't network for shit.
In creative stuff, you really have to network to get your stuff out
Yeah,
there.
so I'm fucked.
No, but you're right though. You have to have somebody kind of be your. You
Yeah.
know, it's important. You know.
Yeah.
I'm the wingman for his art.
Yeah. He helps me pick up commissions at the bar.
Or at the table, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, back to
Back to podcasting.
back to podcasting. Forget this business stuff.
Boo business. Boo.
Who else has been on the podcast? What did Ariel and Esteban talk about?
They were talking about their tour that you helped booked, and Ariel was telling his story about a DUI years ago.
Oh yeah, the DUI story. That was
At Sonic Youth, that one.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, at Radiohead, I think.
It was-
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
Radiohead.
So there's a
Yeah.
so there's a different one for Sonic Youth.
No, you know what? Let me. I
They were
digress.
talking about that Sonic Youth show too on the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the Radiohead one in the parking lot. That one.
Yep, that one. So you're familiar with the story.
Yeah, that one was a drunk episode. We had lots of vodka and beer.
Those are fun. So that's what they talked about.
Yeah, those were some of the big topics we were talking about. Like what else? Like music taste.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly. It was mostly a music episode.
We were they were like crushing cans in the mic.
Oh yeah, we all did aluminum can ASMR. Just crushing cans, and that was the one that ended in the jam sesh
Oh, nice with the
with all the wooden sticks.
with that thing that makes that makes noises.
Do you know Diego?
Yeah.
His project La Mara. He's been on twice too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with him? I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, he's been at home and working a lot. I
Yeah.
think I don't see him at shows really.
Yeah.
He's been part of a rap group, so he's been producing for that, and
wow.
they're working on a full album. I think they've only put out 1 or 2 songs. They have a music video for one on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, the group's called OTS, I think, and he uses the name love.wave like his Instagram handle for his productions.
OTS. What does that stand for?
I haven't asked. He played one of their songs the second time that we had him on.
Nice.
He brought his roommate Mac for that one. So
Oh, really? Hip hop artist Mac?
not like Mac Dre. His name's Marcelo.
What's it, Mac Dre? Isn't he dead? Didn't Mac Dre died or no? Who died? Everybody's dead now.
So
Who's
many
living?
people are dying.
Yeah.
Mac Miller died recently.
Oh yeah, that's right. He died.
He he drank too much lean and
Jesus Christ.
Didn't like
Sorry, I keep bringing that up. What does that tattoo mean? It's from Hellboy?
Yeah, it's just like it's the right hand of doom from Hellboy. It's like
Oh, I
just
see
a
it, yeah.
stylized version of that.
That's so cool. Did
Yeah.
you go see that Guillermo del Toro exhibit up in LA? Did you guys see that?
No, I missed it.
Oh, that was
I didn't get to get. Yeah, that would have been fucking cool.
yeah.
I saw like all the photos from inside. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I wish I was here. Oh fuck, I'm not here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
When he yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, yeah.
yeah. Did you ever see the Bodies exhibit when it was in San Diego?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just kind
I
of.
want that. That's fucking sick.
What?
The Spider-Man film?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Those are badass. No, I don't want to take that, but that's fucking cool. Is that yours, Jack?
Yeah.
You son of a gun. Give that to your kids. They're going to love it.
Hell yeah. I just gotta wash it. It's been there for a while.
Yeah, you need to wash it. Where's the sheets that come with it?
I think it was just the pillow.
Did you have sheets like that? Like Star Wars? Well, not Star Wars.
I think we
like...
had some Star Wars sheets at one point.
I don't think so. I think we just had the weird jungle sheets.
Maybe it was like
Wait a minute,
a
that's
Jar
my
Jar Binks pillow. I was thinking of.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks. That's my hip hop name. Jungle Sheets.
Weird jungle sheets?
Yeah. It'd be good.
Zoo books.
Zoo books.
I love that, man. Oliver doesn't have anything like that. Because what is he into? He's not in this. He's 9, so like, what kids are into now when they're 9 is much different than when.
Yeah, they're into iPad games.
Could you get him some fidget spinner sheets?
Been there, done that. Yeah.
When I was a camp counselor, like this was like last summer, there was a kid in one of our cabins who he was there for a week, and he brought 14 fidget spinners. And like, they're bunk beds, and like we don't put like 40 kids in there, so it's just like he had the top bunk and the bottom bunk. So his top bunk was just his backpack and a bunch of fidget spinners all splayed out all over the place. We were just like, God damn, how can you need this many?
Yeah. And they were meant, they had a purpose, right? I mean, originally.
Yeah, they were
they were for like mostly autistic.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
They were a STEM tool. Yeah.
And then now it was like, wow, that phase is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like I could have used fidget spinners when I was little because like I showed signs of anxiety early on. Like I was always fidgeting and like twiddling pencils and stuff.
Yeah.
In class.
Yeah.
So the fidget spinner was meant for like people like me too. Like the first time I played with one, it was in my hand for like 2 hours.
You see that with a lot of people there, but you're chill.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Is he chill?
Kinda. No, but like I remember like it was also at camp the first time that I ever used a fidget spinner. I was like, I can't right. I couldn't spin it right.
Yeah.
I would get it to spin for like 3 seconds, and then it would hit like my thumb or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, God damn it. And I would keep trying to figure it out. And like I eventually figured it out. I was like, I don't really see the appeal here. But like I do stuff like that when I'm like anxious, or like when I'm thinking a mile a minute. I'll like do this thing with my hand where I just like do this a lot, and I won't even realize I'm doing it, or like I'll snap a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm totally unconscious of it. I don't know that I'm doing it, and somebody will be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just thinking really hard, man. Give me a break." And so that seems like the kind of behavior that would benefit from something like that, like a fidget spinner. But I just couldn't really get into fidget spinners.
They ended up in rap videos even.
Fidget spinners?
Yeah, there's like a 12-year-old rapper that him and all his like gang of friends are playing with fidget spinners and doing tricks the whole time.
You can just say there's a 12-year-old rapper, and I'll just kind of see myself out.
Yeah. What type of toys were you guys into growing up?
We had Bionicle, G.I. Joe, Star Wars toys,
Legos. A lot of Legos, mostly Legos.
Yeah, Legos, right?
Yeah. And the Legos were Ian's thing, so I had to ask permission to use the Legos.
Oh, really? You had to give him some Legos?
He was the guardian of the Legos.
Yeah, I had so many, like, relatives, like aunts, uncles, and stuff would keep giving me Legos.
Yeah, and I remember if I was ever given anything Lego related for, like, my birthday or for Christmas, it would just kind of eventually wind up in there.
Oh, yeah. Did you keep them intact, like the model type stuff, or would they?
I didn't keep the models intact. I would make the model and then like a few days later disassemble it, and I had like drawers of each color or type of piece.
Yeah.
We still have like a third of the Legos from that era of my childhood.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're up at our parents' cabin in Big Bear for like our niece and nephew, or if families ever run out the cabin.
Yeah. Yeah, a good friend like gifted me like one of those kind of like those drawers full of Legos. He's like, you want these for Oliver? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And then somehow we have like 4 of these things just full of just. It's like, oh my god.
So yeah, that's probably roughly where our Lego situation was at.
Yeah, it got
gross,
to
right?
so many pieces that like even though I had the color code system, we had more of that. There was like a bucket of just random pieces.
Yeah.
Too. That was this big.
Yeah, and so if you couldn't find what you needed in the color drawers, you'd had to go digging in there, and it was. Yeah, I would just scratch up my arms because I wouldn't dig anything out. I would just keep digging to the bottom with all the Legos still inside. I'd have all these scratches on my arms.
Son,
I don't want to make a mess because then I got to clean it up.
Yeah.
For people who can't afford Legos, there are Mega Blocks which are sent from hell.
Yeah. Or Duplo blocks for, when you just want like 3 bricks that you can put together.
Yeah. Yeah, the Duplos, right?
Yeah.
Mega blocks.
Mega blocks.
I love those off-brand kind of,
Yeah.
they're interesting.
Hydrox for Oreos.
You know what? Hydrox was actually the original.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Oreo had a more catchy name and like better marketing, so they got edged out, and then Hydrox was suddenly the imitator of the thing that it was first.
Or Shasta Cola.
Yeah. And then like, there's a cat that comes around the neighborhood, like a black and white cat, and a lot of people would call a cat like that Oreo, but I just call him Hydrox because I feel like it's played out. I don't know what his real name is, but I'm just like, hey there, Hydrox, come here, and then he runs away because he hates me.
It's like, he doesn't know my name.
I gave you a cooler name.
Yep.
What if his name is actually Oreo?
Oh.
Does Oliver play a lot of video games? I saw him playing something on his laptop at the library.
Oh, yeah. He plays, the big thing now is Fortnite. I think that's the huge...
Oh, yeah.
Fortnite.
I have friends playing that.
Yeah, Fortnite. Which is free. It's a free game, but all the little things cost.
Oh yeah,
so they try to get you on
all
the
the fucking
DLC,
microtransactions. They nickel and dime you.
Yeah, he has to buy a pack, and then the packs are like $50 or whatever. Like, what?
What?
No way.
A
man.
free game.
Yeah, someone's scoring. I mean, that's how they do it.
So, yeah,
Good for them.
Yeah, they have all those microtransactions. Like, I can't play free games like that because whenever I try, I just insist on never spending any money because you said it's free, and then I just get demolished by people who actually spend money in the game. Like, fuck this.
Yeah, that's how they get you, though. But
that's how they get you on the mobile games too. You could download the app for free, but then you have in-game purchases that can rack up to like $100.
Yeah, my God, really? That's too much money.
And then every once in a while, you'll hear a story about like a little kid who's left to play with a tablet or some shit, and then like unsupervised for a couple hours, and the parents come back and they've got a credit card bill for like $40,000 because the kid doesn't know they're spending real money.
Click, 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 click.
Oh fuck!
Hit the button. I want to level up.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Kids these days.
Oh, kids! Oh my God, we're officially old. It's happened.
You guys gonna have kids?
I mean, probably at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you two. You guys are the.
Yeah, we have a half sister who we kind of found out about later on. We actually met her at Sunset Bowl. Like that was
really
yeah. Like there was like, and she had called our parents and like arranged it and everything, and then our parents sat us down and broke the news to us about like, hey, so you know how it's just the two of you? The thing about that is no.
There's
You have a sister 10 years older.
Yeah, and then so we went up to Sunset Bowl and met her there, and now we have a niece and nephew, which is cool.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The crazy thing was like a couple of years ago, I went up to visit them back when they lived in Santa Rosa, and like it was her and me in the front seat of the car, and then it was the kids in the back, and I just realized something. Like I was 18, and my nephew was 8, and so like I was the same age that my sister was when she met us, and he was the same age that I was when I met her, and it's just like, kind of I don't know. That was just kind of a weird thing to me to realize that.
Oh yeah.
Just time, man. What is
time.
it? What is time?
Yeah. Wow. So that's cool, though. That's good to know. Are you happy about that, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to be an uncle. We love Jenny, of course.
Yeah.
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 We don't see her all that often. It can end up being like 2 to 3 years or so. The
Yeah,
last time
they moved all the way across the country.
Oh, yeah. So that's...
it's kind of hard to arrange things like
That's
that.
understandable.
Yeah, we saw them more when they lived in Santa Rosa. The last time they were here, they visited our cabin in Big Bear.
Yeah. And like that was right before I left for the Bahamas, and I broke the news to them that I was going to be leaving to go and work on a tall ship. And like we're driving up the mountain to the cabin, and the kids are passed out in the back because they flew in, and then we picked them up like around LA, and then so it's like 11:30 at night, and so I'm just telling like, and then like they're saying like they live on the other side of the country, so they're saying, oh yeah, when you get to Boston, we'll come and visit you and ride out on the boat for a little while. And I was like, yeah, come on out, just don't forget to tip. And then my niece, who I thought was completely passed out, just says from the way back, she's like, I'm not tipping because I didn't bring any money. And then she just falls back asleep. I'm like,
All right.
No, our niece is hilarious.
Yeah, kids are cool, man. Well, thanks for having me on.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I gotta.
Thanks
split.
for coming in.
Yeah, I
we
gotta
don't
split.
do a long episode since you probably have other places to be.
Yeah, I just got a few more appointments to kind of nail out, but
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this was great. Thanks for coming.
yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and it's just cool just shooting the shit.
Yeah,
You know?
I kind of like when guests coming in not having like heard our episodes are not that many
Yeah.
because then it creates like a whole new type of episode each time.
Yeah. And usually the question comes up, so what is this podcast? And then we just have to throw up our hands and say, fuck, who knows? Who
What it
knows?
is.
Let's find out.
Let's
Yeah,
make
the
it
other
something.
podcast we're working on, it's more direct. It's wholly sci-fi scripted.
It's scripted. I've held all the scripts in my hand. I've written like 5 pounds of science fiction so far. So,
Really?
Yeah, that's just what I have like printed out, and then we were like recording and shit. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, and there's like a lot more to do with that. So, just stay tuned. It'll be coming eventually.
Yeah, nice. You know, one thing too is that we're branching out to do books, which is going to be fun. Like
Cool.
I've got a friend who does horror fiction,
Cool.
and we're putting out like a short story anthology. So that should be
That's
coming
awesome.
out hopefully by next year. So
That's cool.
Do you have any shows to plug?
Yeah, I do. On 10/8, it's going to be Monochromacy and the Sorcerer Family.
Nice.
And there's these 2 artists from Seattle, and they play sad music.
Sad music.
So, and then 10/20, we're doing the Central Library show again.
Nice.
10/27 is going to be the I Eat People 3 children's monster art. So that actually, I would love to see if you guys know anybody who had nieces or nephews maybe want to contribute to that particular show. So, but the thing is, it's all monster art from kids, and we're going to put it up at the Mission Valley Library.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then take a break for September and December, or November and December.
Yeah, because that's getting towards the holidays.
Yeah. Who wants to do that? Who wants to,
Who wants to go to a show when you could eat turkey and drink eggnog?
Exactly.
What if you could go to a show and eat turkey and drink eggnog at the same time? Just throwing that out there. Just something to think about.
Hey,
It's
you
an
know
idea.
what? Strange giving. That's gonna be
Strange giving. Yeah.
That's gonna be amazing. Well, cool. Well, thanks again.
Thanks for coming
Appreciate
on.
that. Yeah.
Right.
This has been Oh Well You Bastards, episode 18.
Oh well.
All right.